Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome to another exciting edition of Trax Tuesdays. Hi, my name is Gogs Brown in the commentary booth this evening, giving you all the details and action as it comes from the track. We're here for Race Club UK season, I think we're season 11 now. This is Trax Tuesdays. Excuse me. And we are in the twilight of the season. We have just this and then 2 more races to go. We have an absolute scorching track laid out for us this evening. Air temperature 31 degrees, track 37 degrees. One of the hardest tracks, not only on tyres but on drivers as well. Fully expect to see some cars in the wall this evening. Bathurst looks very loose coming over Skyline into the S's. Now he approaches Forest Elbow. He has the BMW driver just in front of him. Ben Godden in the chat, thank you very much for joining us on the YouTube channel. Greetings from the Netherlands, greetings to the Netherlands, from wherever you're watching from in the world. The one time I don't say it on the entry to a stream. So, as usual, we have 3 championships currently running this evening, as well as an overall championship. I'm just going to take a quick moment to find out exactly what the championship order is as we enter the final stages of the season. Watching Craft gets a little bit out of shape just before Skyline. It really is such a tight, twisty, technical circuit, this one. Like he has Clements behind him, it looks like, or it's Lofstrand just tucked in behind on the way into the Bentley elbow. I'm sure it's called Audi now, but we'll call it Bentley because that's what the barrier says this evening. Down this long, this stupidly long back straight. And the Lamborghini, not the fastest car, but one car we will love to see down this long back straight is the Ford Mustang of Flores. That car will absolutely fly in a straight line this evening. Through the chase comes Jack Craft in the Trax racing car. This is the final few minutes of practice. The drivers just finalising their setups for the race. Speaking of the race, this is what we have this evening on the right hand side of your screen. We have 2 35-minute sprint races. So nice, we're doing it twice. And we have 2 5-minute qualifying sessions in between the races to decide the grid for each one. It says 5 minutes, but it is 1 lap magic. You get 1 lap to set a lap time, and that will be where you start on the grid from. So, the AM Class Championship, I'll go up the way, I'll go down the way. Andrea Demi still leads that with 2,074 points. Johnny Clark in second with 1,992. In third place we have Mark Cedric, he's followed closely by Chris Cook, Nico Archer, Jose Petit, who won last time out at the Nordschleife circuit. Stefano Franciosi is the next driver down. Sammy English is bringing up the rear on that one. In the Pro-Am category, and you can tell the Pro-Am drivers with the silver background number plates, such as Van Linter and Roland. That championship is led by Lee Watson. Not in the server as of yet. Chris Rowlands in the yellow Ferrari. We've seen him a couple of times this season. There he is. Running in, he's second in the championship. Patrick Herman third. Matthias Metzger fourth. Lofstrand 5th, Bellamancia 6th, James Jarnigan 7th, Tom Hockley in 8th, Duncan Hutchins in ninth. Michael Adenal rounds at the top 10 in that class. And in the pro category, the leader, championship leader, Dan Clegg, is still dominating the championship. Paul Alex, who's been giving him a run for his money recently, is second. Richard Hall, who we're watching just now, in P3. Carl Sween is down into P4 now after missing 2 races this season. Andreas Flores is in 5th in the Mustang, but again, as of last time out, looked absolutely rapid. Ben Godden, who has been in the YouTube chat, is obviously not in on the track this evening. He's currently in the Netherlands doing things that you can only do in the Netherlands. Noor Farha is in P7, Chris Clements 8th, Lars Rampensberger P9, and Jack Kraft rounds out the top 10 in the pro category. So 23 seconds of the session remaining, then the drivers will get to complete their lap. Watson has just made it into the server, thankfully, as he runs up the hill towards turn 2. Lovely looking Lamborghini there just behind him. Who is that? That's a lovely looking car. It's not Kraft. Where's that? That's definitely a Lamborghini. Do we have a new driver here today? Now, I'm willing to bet quite a substantial, large sum of money that's not his actual name. I Risk It All YouTube. However, that is the name of a driver I definitely want to see driving over the mountain area off Mount Panorama Bathurst circuit. He looks very twitchy, but that is a very striking looking car. He's over the grass on the way into Skyline. Keeps it together now as he comes into the S's. And now he comes down through Shannon's into Forest Elbow. Through the Bentley curve, there he is. He goes round Watson. Now he pulls over, he's done. And we are now ready for qualifying. Who is going to be first out? We've got a black Porsche there at the front. That's not Simon, no, that's a yellow BMW car number 82 first out. Who is that? That's Matthias Metzger, who wants to get underway. And he's got Paul Alex for company. And then we have Dan Clegg. Kevin Van Linter follows him. Then we have the number 68 car, that's Andrea Demi. And now they're all filtering out of the pits. Here they come, and look at the tyre weaving by James Jernigan in the big Lexus. Some cars always seem to leave it a little bit late to come out and do their lap, and that's absolutely fine. There's no problem with that. I don't know, so he gets himself a little bit more space. So this lap round this circuit, this very treacherous circuit, is sort of split into 2 distinct sections as Dan Clegg returns to the pits and goes for a second outlap. 2 very distinct sections off the track. We've got the long straights and slow 90-degree corners. That's from Forest Elbow. Adenal didn't have the best of times there, it looked like, going over the mountain section. Bella Mancia looks to be recovering there as well, as Petit slams into the Audi Sport barrier, the cutting. So one driver's on the back foot here is Dan Clegg. He needs to make sure he has enough space to get round the lap. It is going to be Metzger who's going to come round the final corner, and we'll show you this track as 2 distinct sections. He's halfway through one of them. This is the long section that requires top speed. 90-degree left-hander, brake about 80 metres out, lift off over that curb, and you can really run over the exit curb there as well. Now he needs to be careful because James Clark is in front of him as he comes up to turn 2. It's a long way up the hill to turn 2. Brake about the 100 metre board, or that little indent the escape road there, turn it in early, the track opens up and the camber off of the curb helps you. Turn 3, tricky section, and marks the start of the tricky mountain section. The Audi cut line is turn 4, turn 5, this long right-hander here under the BP ultimate curve. Clicks the curb through Salmon Park, he goes now, this left-hander, you always got lock on the car, and it's bravery, skims the wall on the outside, lifts off, and now into Skyline, as you can see it's a very aptly named corner. As he slows it down, can he get it slowed down in time? He does, he's made it round there just now, he's going through the S's, Shannon's S's. Little lift needed here, and careful you don't lock the fronts up into the elbow. The exit, so important because look at this downhill straight, this downhill section. This is where the drivers put their right foot to the floor. And we look at an indication of the BMW speed there, we can see on his dashboard. 278, 279, 281 the BMW managed to reach as he goes through the chase. The left-right chicane, and this is now we're back on the straights again. Pinpoint your braking for the final corner of this very, very long lap. As he comes round the final turn now, the bad camber on the exit, you need to be careful with that one. And he crosses the line and sets a 2:05. Paul Alex just behind goes a 2:03. Some drivers yet to still finish their time. The 111 car, that's Hall, now comes across the line. And Hall goes into second. Keep an eye on the timer on the left hand side of your screen. This is the timing board on the left there. That'll tell you the drivers as they come over the line. It's frantic now. Jarnigan with a good lap time there. Only 1.7 off in the Lexus. But Lancia almost matches him. But what can Flores do with the ponies under that hood? He goes into provisional pole. That's a great lap time from the Mustang driver. Car number 24 now about to come across the line. To start their lap, Jose Petiz has got one of the Flying Eagles Porsches behind him. That's Herman. So Petiz and Herman coming across the line. You'll never guess who's coming with them. It's championship leader Dan Clegg. What can Clegg do? He goes first by 7/10 of a second. And you can see exactly why he is leading the championship with pace like that. Kraft goes into P4. Hutchings into P11. Rampensberger still out there. He's been known to spoil a party or two. Barros and Clements also have good pace. What can they do? Rampensberger goes P2. Now Barros in the Pink Panther car and Clements just ahead. What happens with these guys? Barros goes into P4. Car number 36, that's Adenal, goes 18th in the Honda. Car number 8 is about to fly over the line now. That's Clark. He's in P19 but leads the AM Class Challenge. And we've got one car, I believe, still out there to complete a lap. That is Chris Cook. As he comes round the Bentley curve. Now let's compare the speed of the BMW to the speed of the Porsche. The BMW is seen doing 281 kilometers per hour. What can that BMW do? Simon's not set a lap time. So Simon will start from the back. So 278 from the Porsche. The Porsche has actually drastically improved its straight line speed. It used to be one of the slowest cars in a straight line, and that weakness appears to have now been eradicated. But it is Cook coming round the final corner now. Crosses the line and goes well into pole in the AM class. Great qualifying lap from Chris Cook in the number 24 Porsche. So let's have a look at the qualifying session. Let's see who has qualified where. Dan Clegg with the fastest time over the mountain, and that's where the difference was made, making up 0.9 of a second over that mountain section. Absolutely incredible from the BMW Bet GT3 Team Slap Sabir, sole representative this evening. Rampensberger with the fastest first sector. Now that sector is just essentially 2 corners, but he's still done the fastest time round there. Flores in P3, only a tenth behind third. Carl Sween always consistently quick in P4. Barros just off the Porsche driver. Let me see the final sector there. He matched Clegg actually in that final sector. Alex with the fastest final sector in the Aston Martin. Another very fast car in a straight line. Jack Kraft leads the Ted Trax racing team in P7. In the Lamborghini there, 203.7. Clements a little bit further behind now, half a second down for Jorgen Rust Racing in the BMW. Hall in P9, Kevin Van Linter rounds at the top 10 but takes pole position for the Pro-Am class. Rowlands in 11th. James Jarnigan in the Lexus, again incredible lap time for a Lexus. Very difficult car to drive. Bellamancia in P13, Lee Watson 14th, Cook 15th, the fastest AM class driver. Hutchins 16th. Lofstrand in P17, Metzger 18th, Michael Adenau in P19 and Clark in 20th. Mr. Risk It All in the 21st position in the 100 Lamborghini, Herman 22nd. Cedric 23rd, Andrea Demi 24th, Jose Petit 25th, and Simon will start from the back off the grid. Watch to see their last to first challenge this evening. Short formation lap. This time out, give me 2 seconds, I'm going to get a quick refreshment. I've got 1 minute to do so before we get underway. There we go, we are refreshed. Bender from Futurama style. Excuse me. Rusty GT UK, hi, let's all have a great race in the YouTube chat. Hi Rusty, thanks for joining us. I'm pretty adamant you are one of the drivers racing this evening. Hope you can keep that level of interaction going as we get the race underway. The Helicam is ready to pick us up. We see some of the lovely liveries out there again. I'm already calling it. Livery of the day has to go to Mr. Risk It All. There he is in the 100 Lamborghini. Absolutely beautiful colour scheme on that Lambo. So we'll keep a close eye then on Clements. He's given us some engagement. He's in P8 just now. He starts alongside Jack Kraft in the Ted Trax racing car. So Clements for Jorgen Rust Racing in the 15 BMW. 10 seconds to go then till Dan Clegg gets us underway here at round 11. Mount Panorama. We are ready for the Thunder Down Under here at Bathurst. Dan Clegg on row 1, Rampensberger next to him. Flores in the Mustang alongside Carl Sween. Row 3 has Barros and Alex. Kraft and Clements on row 4. Hall and Van Linter make up the top 10 as we now get ready to get us underway. Short formation lap, Ben Gordon taking responsibility as we get all the cars onto the start finish straight. We await the green flag.
Green light, go, go, go.
And we are green, green, green. We are racing here at Mount Panorama. All the cars get out of the way into turn 1. Clegg's got the inside, but that gives Rampensberger the run down the exit. He is gone. There are cars in the back all over the place. That's Bellamancia having a hard time. Another Mustang bouncing over the grass. But look up out front because it is Rampensberger leading the way. Barros thinks about a move round the outside of turn 2. Not normally a place you can overtake on. He's pushed all over to the wall. It's contact a little bit further through the grid as they now approach the Audi cutting. And the driver tracker now begins to update itself. We've got contact a little bit at the back. Not normally an overtaking opportunity into this section. but they've all got round, and already Simon has moved up a couple of positions, but up at the front, Rampensberger leads Clegg, leads Carl Sween. Incredible start from the American. Flores has managed to get himself past before the mountain section. It's very hard to overtake around here, not normally a place you can overtake very safely, as the two Porsches look to get a little bit squirmy coming through Skyline. Incredible camera angles there from the director. So round then onto the first pass onto the chase. This is one of the best overtaking opportunities on the circuit. The helicopter picks up the leaders very nicely. A little bit of a toe coming down into the chase, but nothing doing it this time. Look how late Clegg is able to get on the brakes. Sween squirms a little bit too much. Right foot onto the floor, loses the rear, and that's lost him 2 positions. As he goes round the final corner now, he's going to start the next lap in P5. Hutchins side by side with Van Linter through the final corner. Van Linter's carrying an absolute chunk of damage, but Van Linter goes through with 3 abreast into turn 1. 2 of the Flying Eagles cars with Clark and Belamanti has got the inside. There's slight contact there, and they all get through relatively well. Lofstrand, just enough space for Simon to squeeze through that tiny little gap, but now he's out off the slipstream. He's now pulling Lofstrand down towards turn 2, and they're almost side by side. Clark's in the wall at the back, and a huge crash by Simon. Simon slams into the wall, and that's going to be causing him a lot of turning and grip issues. The slow moving BMW there, we just missed that one as they come through Salmon Park into Skyline for the second time. Clegg is all over the back now of Rampensberger, and that's just allowing Flores in the Mustang, the big old Mustang with all those American ponies under that hood. Now Clegg looks a lot closer to Rampensberger this time out. They fly down on board with the championship leader now. That is Dan Clegg. You see the McLaren looks very quick. Look how much speed the BMW has upon closing. Maybe it's a part of the intimidation factor, part of the champion's racecraft. A little bit further down here we've got Cook and Simon side by side through the chase. Grave stuff from the 2 Porsche drivers. Clark risk it all, has indeed risked it all. Cars bumping all over the back of the exit of turn 1, that curb kicking up a lot of dust. As they come round that corner now. And that looks like a mistake potentially from Flores. This is the next group. Look at the damage for Hutchins. There's 4 almost fighting to not normally a place you can go side by side into the Audi cutting, but they manage it. They all get through relatively well. And again through Salmon Park into Skyline. The BMW of Clegg closes right up. This is now a 3-way battle for the lead. Anything can happen between these 3. Look at Clegg, he's all over the back, almost pushing Rampensberger round Forest Elbow. They come now down into the chase, and this is where we'll see the straight line speed of that Ford Mustang. The Mustang is closing fast. Clegg might have to get defensive now, actually going into the chase. He doesn't this time. He was so good on the brakes last time, of course. And there's Clements up at the P7. He's made some moves. Almost side by side there. Hutchins, Herman and Metzger. With Lofstrand just tagging along in the back. Simon with that heavily damaged Porsche as well. Cedric and Adenel, the two Pearl Hondas, fighting hard. Cedric goes round the outside on the exit of the chase as he comes now down into the final corner. That is Cedric in the 140, going deep into the final turn. That's going to cost him on exit. Still as you were up at the front. 4th and 5th still Alex and Sween. Barrels tucking behind him very nicely now. Van Linter almost in the race on his own, as is Watson, and then there is a good little battle as you come through the field. The midfield, of course, tightly packed as always. Still Rampensberger then leads Clegg and leads Flores again. Look at the speed Clegg has, the confidence. Round the mountain section, the Mustang makes a slight mistake, takes to the escape road. Very bumpy over there. Through the S's, Clegg still got the advantage, it looks like. We're on board now with the BMW driver. And he's a lot closer this time, isn't he? He is a lot closer. And the mistake from Flores means he does not have to think about defending. He's closing, he's got the toe. He goes defensive, there's Rampensberger. We've seen Clegg so much later on the brakes. He goes deep and makes the move round the outside of the chase. That was absolutely incredible. Yellow flag is out the back of the grid. Car number 99, that's Hutchins. It looks like Jarnigan's powered past or used the power off the Lexus to keep himself at least in front at this time. And that's a move there for position. That is Michael Adenal returning the favour on his teammate this time around. But the lovely coloured Lamborghini thinks about a move there, doesn't work out this time around. So then up at the front now, it's Dan Clegg with the fastest lap of the race and leads Dres Flores by now 1.2. Hold on, Rampensberger, what's happened to Rampensberger? He's been in the wall. Rampensberger's taken a chunk of wall and added it to his McLaren at some point off the circuit. And he's now dropped all the way down to P12. He's in the middle, and that's Flores! Flores in the Mustang! Somebody's opened the barn door and all of the ponies in the Mustang have escaped. And Watson needs to be cautious coming round there, and Bellamancio now! Oh my goodness, we said it was going to be a track that was going to catch out a lot of drivers, and it absolutely has, and the real winner there has to be Herman. And the contact again! Bellamancio makes contact with the Mustang. Very clumsy by all of these guys making this contact round the mountain section. We've got another pile up there, yellow flag showing a skyline. That's Flores, he's done, he's had enough. He's in the pits. And Cedric, it's Cedric facing the wrong way at Shannon's. And Petit's having to take to the wall to avoid a multi-car collision over the mountain. The stewards will absolutely be looking at that, but once again it's allowed Paul Alex, the Aston Martin driver, to inherit P2, and Carl Sween, the man who's always there or thereabouts, into the podium positions. Barros is tucked in behind him very nicely, and they're dragging Hall along with them. Oh, at this point I really wish I had a co-commentator to pass the buck as I get a little bit of rest between the action spots. No rest for the wicked, however, and you'll have to deal with my accent for a little while longer. Sween really pushing that car, drifting as they come round Salmon Park now. Into Skyline. Such a unique sort of technique through that corner. You kind of need to know when to brake, when to turn, when to coast. It's all like a dance. It's all about rhythm. Now that looks like a very good exit line there from the McLaren driver, but the McLaren hides its speed on the dashboard. We're not going to get to see the McLaren's outright speed, it looks like. But the Pink Panther closing very quickly. Moves to the inside, thinks about a move. He's over the curb and he's hit it. That's a very risky move there by Barros. He's hit the curb and then understeered into the side of Sween. And then Hall's been caught up in that accident. Barros now having to rejoin. He's just in front of Jarnigan, so he's now down to that little lead pro pack. One car I do actually want to watch, and I'll keep an eye on it next time, is the Lexus. I want to know exactly what speed that car is managing down the back straight. So we've still got 23 of the 26 starters in the race. Cedric is down. Hutchins has rejoined, so that's good to see. He'll get himself ahead. Bella Mancia now jumping into the pits. We caught that one there just now. So this is Cook. He's battling with Adenauer and Lofstrand. He's punching with the bigger boys, so to speak. On board with the Porsche driver. Nearly runs into the back of Adenauer. It's a close one indeed. As they come into the Audi cutting, and that's a very big chunk of oversteer. Tries to go round the outside of Adenauer. Adenauer just holds on to the place. That would have been absolutely spectacular from Cook if he had managed that one. That was incredible. Incredible piece of action. Close battle then going on here. Clements has managed to get himself up into P4. Hall struggling as they come down the long back straight. The Lamborghini off Kraft. Looks like he's made the move stick. He has Kraft up into P5. And even thinking about P4 past Clements, but they close down the concertina effect, meaning they almost bunch up, forming a centipede of cars. Got a car looking very wide there. It's car 14. That's Rollins. Where's Rollins going? Going for the little Bathurst hop. If you're not familiar with the Bathurst hop, that's a trick in iRacing. You can hit a bump just before that barrier and jump over the curb and skip the corner completely. No, it does not work on ACC. That's not something you can try. An invisible barrier will indeed catch you. So this is the view from Kraft. Looking back the way that Ferrari is so good on turning. Alternate lines being tried. Come out of the cutting into the mountain section. Now car 140, that's Hutchins, that's Cedric. Cedric's facing the wrong way at the S's. And someone who will be very pleased to see him get moving again is the race leader Dan Clegg, because you can pass on the straight section here. We're still with this battle for P4 as the Lamborghini gets very out of shape through the S's, through the Bentley elbow. Now on to the long straight. Now this is where the Ferrari will actually struggle. The Ferrari not the quickest car in the straights. We've seen it all season. Lamborghini was not known to be one of the quicker cars either, but it's holding its own with the BMW. The Ted Trax Racing car running well in P5. Ted Trax Racing, of course, the sponsors and partners of Race Club UK this season. Ted Trax Racing helping young people find their way into motorsports through various avenues. One of such avenues is karting, grassroots level motorsport. They do a lot of good work, non-for-profit of course, getting drivers, young drivers involved. Another avenue of course, such as the one we're seeing here, is esports. It's an avenue for young drivers to learn some transferable skills in the motorsport world with a fraction of the cost and none of the danger. So it's a good partnership, a new avenue there for Ted Trax Racing. Do check them out. They do a lot of good work, and you can find them on all your usual social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, you know, that kind of thing. So do check them out. That's Ted Trax Racing. But this is season 11 of Race Club UK, as well as Hall gets a big tag slapper going through Salmon Park, keeps it together. He's now at risk from the cars behind. I think he's made it okay. Barrow's still stuck there behind him. This is season 11. This is the last bit to race that very wide line there by the Lamborghini. That's left him vulnerable to Hall now, as Hall, cameraman, losing them there. But you see the Ferrari again just struggles in that straight line, and now we've got a situation, a real situation, because look at this. They're going to go side by side through the chase. Barros and Hall pushing hard, and Paul's had to brake late, nearly collects the Lamborghini in front of him. And that Ferrari straight line speed again, it's Achilles heel. It's so good on the way into corners. Yellow flags out for car number 36. That's Michael Adenal, who's come undone round the mountain. But that is the end of his race. Unfortunately, he's back in the pits. So season 12 will be unveiled in due course. Do keep an eye on SimGrid and Facebook. Follow Race Club UK to keep in touch, and join the Discord to find out when those sign-ups go live. But in the meantime, there is a very fun-looking driver swap mini-series taking place during the off-season. That takes place on Tuesday nights. We'll have more on that in the break, because I'm coming back to the action, because the Lamborghini off the Ted Trax Racing car has got out of shape, coming out off the Audi cutting as he comes through the mountain section now. He looks to have regained any loss of control through Salmon Park. We go over the crest now to the scrapyard. And then the ever slowing, very technical skyline. Now I'm going to ruin many people's day with this one. This is the onboard shot from the Ferrari. Again, you see how good it is on the brakes. Onboard shot from the Ferrari. Now watch the windscreen wiper move down the straight. That windscreen wiper moving about is the sole reason I do not drive the Ferrari in this game. It infuriates me, and I'm sorry if I've ruined the Ferrari for anyone else. So then we're 10 laps in, 11 laps in. Clegg's just crossed the line very close there from Barros. That one looks to have calmed down. Now this is the battle for silver. We've got Rollins. Sorry, this is Watson and Metzger. This is the battle for 4th in class. Oh no, 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 no. That one is going straight to the steward's room. That one will absolutely be seen in the steward's room. That was an unacceptable piece of driving. Very clumsy from both drivers. This Mustang's now approaching 2 slow-moving BMWs. He has to get out of the power. And they're not pitting, they're continuing round. So now we're going to get 2 BMWs and a Mustang alongside each other into turn 1. But the Mustang's power drives straight through Clark and Cook. Cook tries to keep it in touch and he clips the back of Metzger as well. And now it's absolute carnage as this is the Mustang. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, that was, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is not on. I'm not going to say anything because I meant to be in the commentary position, impartial, but that is an unacceptable piece of driving and I sincerely hope the stewards have a look at that one. That was Flores and I risk it all. That's the one, that's the number 3 car and the number 100. Anyway, back to the good action. We've got this battle that's raging on. Barros and the Pink Panther pressuring that Ferrari. Both cars been in the wars today. The Lamborghini there off Kraft, getting out of shape on the exit of 1. That's going to bring these two back into action a little bit. That comfort gap is definitely gone anyway. Round the second corner now. Barros still applying that pressure up into the mountainous section. This section such a hard part of that. All about rhythm. There's not really a line in. Barros there out of rhythm, just flips the wall, caught up in the dirty air off the Ferrari just in front. That's dropped him back a little bit now, so he'll have some work to do. Really is non-stop around here. Barros takes the comfort lift. This is Cook now, he's still on the back of Metzger. Watson's had to jump to the pits, he's had an incident. So Lee Watson in the BMW now potentially out of this race. 10 minutes to go then in race 1. Dan Clegg leads Paul Alex by 12 seconds. That's after the closest runners, the 3-horse battle at the front kind of beat itself actually out of contention. Paul Alex second, leads Carl Sween by about 5 seconds. There he is there. Clement slowly reeling in the Grello Porsche. 2 seconds behind. Jack Kraft in 5th. Further second back we have Hall and Barros. That's the battle we've been watching. 6 seconds back, silver class leader is Jarnigan. He leads Van Linter by about 1.5 seconds, and there's 6 seconds back to the early challenger to the lead. Rampensberger, who took the lead out of turn 1. He's now down in P10. Roland in P11, he's got past Herman. We've seen the messy situation. Herman's in P12. Clark in 13th, leading the AM class. Metzger in P14. Cook 15th. Petit's in 16th. Demi 17th. Watson is 18th, but still in the pits, so that will likely change. Bellamancia 19th. Simon also in the pits in P20. Car 14, that's Rollins. Rollins has been off track. He's in the pits as well. So Simon 20th, he's going to fall down the order. Car 51, and they're all dropping like flies. That's Rampensberger's off track. He's just stopped, however, in a very dangerous position. Yellow flags are being waved, but that's not always enough to slow these guys down. Rampensberger gets moving now. Maybe an issue with the car, possibly. He's now moving, he's got underway. Admiral 20th, Simon 21st, Lofstrand 22nd, Viscatal 23rd, Cedric 24th, Flores 25th, and Hutchins, it looks like, has indeed retired. That's Metzger. Metzger's been overtaken, or been in the wall at least, because Cook has got himself in front of him now. Metzger, yeah, that BMW is definitely seen prettier days. Front end completely smashed in. And he's taken to the pit lane. He's going to have to fix that. His steering must be damaged. So Herman, his teammate, is still out there running well. He's third in class. He's following Clark in the Mustang. That Mustang is running very well this evening. So Flores has returned, and I did say I wanted to have a look at the straight line speed, and we can see it indeed. So what speed can the Mustang do? BMW was 281 in qualifying. 284 for the Mustang. It's so quick, that thing. Needs to be careful making his way round Petit's. If Petit's is taken to the grass, that can put you out of control. But the move done well. So Clements has actually closed in another second on Sween. This is for the podium spot, the final podium position. Clements now 1.3 behind the Grello Porsche. 1.2 now as well. The gap's coming down and down. That Porsche known for chewing up the rear tyres, turning them into marshmallows. This 41 degree track temperature will not be helping that situation. A little bit further back then, this is Van Linter. He's on the back of that Lexus. Not the easiest car to drive, the Lexus, but the BMW looks to have, or at least be carrying, some form of damage. So if you just started watching us, we're nearing the end of race 1. We do have another qualifying session and race session to watch. We are at with 5 minutes left to go. Dan Clegg leads by a sizable margin. Dan Clegg-Stappen, as he's been affectionately dubbed by the community. Paul Alex second, Carl Sween third, with Clements hot on his heels, Kraft fifth, Hall sixth, Barros seventh, Jarnigan 8th, Van Linter 9th, and Clark rounds out the top 10. But action all throughout this evening, as you would expect here at Bathurst. The cars have been dropping like flies, tiny lapses of concentration over the mountain section, leading to moments of Demi. This is Demi, and that looks like Cedric coming through to unlap himself. Demi just letting him go. He knows he's got another 2 minutes to catch up. No need to keep him there. Good driving, good racecraft by the AM class driver. Yellow flags out for car number 24. That's Cook. Cook has now returned to the pits. And that's unfortunate. He was running so well. He was P2, but that moves Jose Petiz up into second place. Really building on the strong performance with his win the last time out. He's now running in P2. Yes, he has inherited that place, but you've got to be driving well to put yourself in the position to inherit it. What's happened here? Yellow flags out for car 140. That's Cedric. He's facing the wrong way at Skyline. Oh my goodness. It's going to be tight. Two cars coming round now. And they've got around okay. He's got a bit of room now. He can get himself turned around, thankfully. And continue. Flores has just set the fastest lap from 24th position. The ponies in that car still going strong. Look at this now. This is Clements. He's on the back of Sween. This is not taking long. Sween's got at least one more lap to defend, and if Dan Clegg decides to do mean, it'll be two. Car number 3 is jumping into the pits now. That is Flores. Flores done for this race. So stick on board then with Clements, this final little section here. I guess we won't be sticking on board then. Let's keep an eye on the driver tracker. Jarnigan and Van Linter running very close as well. That's for the win in silver class. Flashes off the lights from Clements then. That's interesting. Does Clements feel? Oh, that's a car in the wall. That's a Lamborghini of Craft nudging into the wall there. Some damage just to get round the final few sections off the track. Round the sharp left to go and into Skyline. Whereabout is the Porsche losing time? Is it round here? Is the damage to the back of that car meant that Sween has had to lean on the back tyres a little bit more? But no, it's the other car. It's Clements who's in the wall, and that's allowed Craft through. Craft in the Lamborghini takes the position, and that has let Carl Sween off the hook. But it's been a great performance from Dan Clegg, who extends his championship lead even further to take the win in race 1. It's going to be Paul Alex next across the line. It looks like it's going to then be, there's Alex coming round the final corner now. So he's going to take P2, great drive from Alex. Sween's going to come and hold on to third place. Craft in fourth. Clements is just going to hold on to P5. Hall takes sixth. Barros in seventh. Jarnigan holds, at least right now anyway, has held on from Van Linter. And Jarnigan's going to take P1 in a Lexus, first in class. for Jarnigan. Van Linter is in P9. Then we've got quite some time with some lapped cars, some lapped runners running actually in the middle of all this. And Michael Adenau, car number 68. That is Demi comes round. Adenau's finishes Rollins. He's in P20. Riskett all still out there running as well. But Herman in the Porsche for the Flying Eagle is going to take the final podium spot in Pro-Am. Rampensberger is going to come home P12. He'll be disappointed after his race start. Watson and Riskett all are coming round the final corner now. And across the line they come. Bellamancia in the Nissa. And then last of all is going to be Cook. And car number 15. I don't see a car 15 on the track. That is Clements. Clements going for a final lap. Chris Cook going very sideways round the final corner, second to last corner, under the liquid moly barrier, turns it in, gently on the throttle and across the line. So that's the end of race 1. Let's run through the order. In AM class, it's a win for Clark. Pettis takes second place, a podium after his win last time out. Andrea Demi takes third, Risketol fourth, Cook fifth, Cedric in P6. Silver class sees Jarnigan, Van Linter, Herman, Metzger, Watson, Bellamancia, Michael Adenau, Jorgen Lofstrand, Chris Rollins and Hutchings did not finish. The overall race then, Dan Clegg commanding lead 18 seconds, Paul Alex in P2 and Carl Sween on the podium. Jack Kraft in P4, Chris Clements in 5th, Hall in P6, Barros P7, Jarnigan in 8th, Van Linter 9th, Clark rounds out the top 10, Herman 11th, Rampensberger 12th. Pettis 13th, Metzger in P14, Demi 15th, Watson 16th, Bellamancia in P17, Adenau 18th, Lofstrand 19th, Rollins 20th, Risketol 21st, Cook not shown as finished, but he'll be 22nd by amount of number of laps completed, Cedric 23rd, Flores 24th. And then we have Simon and Hutchings. Looks like they did not finish the race. That's the race order. Quick little break and then we'll be back to talk about what's coming up next on Race Club UK.
30 seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Absolute nightmare. Microphone problems just been fixed. Thank you very much in the YouTube stream. Oh dearie me. Right, okay. At least we've got the volume working for the start of race 2. Missed it all through qualifying, but we are back. My apologies for that one. Some technical difficulties. Short formation lap to get going then. Clegg and Flores, Rampensberger, Alex, Clements and Kraft make up the front couple off rows. Keep an eye for Sween coming round the final corner, coming round the back, along with Simon at the back of the grid as well, as we await the green flag for race 2.
Green light, show them what you got.
Drive through penalty for Flores. He looked very far ahead. Don't know what was going on there, but Clegg's now going to pull away, and that's disappointing for a lot of neutrals actually. Little bit of argy-bargy in the background, but relatively clean compared to race 1 at least. Flores trying to get the jump on Clegg. He should have really just went for it and threw a spanner into the works, shouldn't he? Potential moves a little bit further back then. There's the 2 wide. As they come into the Audi cutting. All relatively clean, at least at this early stage it looks like. Oh no, there's a big smash against the wall there. That looked like Van Linter maybe. Maybe Hutchins into the wall. Not a lot of room to go side by side racing round the mountain. Through Skyline they go then for the first time here at race 2. Flores is falling off the back, and that means it's going to be Rampensberger is going to be getting held up as they come through the Bentley elbow, and now on the long back straight down to the chase. Clegg leads Flores, leads Rampensberger, but Clements looks like he's under pressure as Sween now looks to return the favour from race 1, but nothing happening this time as Clark gets on a power drift out of the chase. I'm sure it was fun for him, but definitely not the fastest way around the track, and that's allowed Hall through Nobela Mancia facing the wrong way, and I've seen that one coming a mile off. He's on his way to the city, and that is it for him. He's not out of the contender for a major space. Lofstrand and Simon started from the back of the grid as Lofstrand sweeps around and cuts him off as everyone bumps over the curbs in the background. Bellamancia now facing very sideways, and Flores' day goes from bad to worse as he's just picked up a 30-second stop-go penalty. Look at the gap Clegg's got already. It's almost not fair on the others. As they come round the Audi cutting, it looks like a little bit of contact there potentially. Risking it all, funnily enough. Now there's 4 cars battling for this position. Riscatol, Cook, Barros, Van Linter, Hutchins and Watson all running in close succession over the mountain, and he's off! 2 cars hitting the wall. He comes back onto the track. There's cars littering the mountainside here in New South Wales, and there's an obstruction. Everyone's flying into the section. There's yellow flags. You really should be taking a lot more care through there, but some lucky Australian who lives up the mountains is going to be greeted with several GT3 cars in their back garden. after that one. Now Clements has got himself ahead of Kraft and Sween. That puts Clements up now into P4. Clement, Gordon saying there in the chat, Jose doing his best Ricardo Rossi impression. Now I don't know who that is, but it certainly sounded like a funny joke, so haha. Look at the cars littering the straight here. They come round turn one. Barros almost being pushed by Cook as he bounces his back end over the gravel. Demi and Bellamansa coming round there. Next driver is going to be one of the pit lane drivers actually. That's the aftermath of that incident in the pit lane. A lot of drivers sitting in the pit lane tonight. I'm sure they won't be the last. Absolutely not. So, Dan Clegg now leads by 3.7 seconds. Alex is all over the back of Rampensberger, you can see it there. On board now with the Aston Martin driver. He just looks so composed, doesn't he, Paul Alex? He's always calm, his car looks under full control. But he manages to do that while driving exceptionally fast. As Flores finally clears his stop-go penalty. So he's now back on track, one of the faster drivers on the field. Rejoins in P21, there he is. So close battle there for second then. Rampensberger, Alex, Clements, Kraft, Sween, Hall and Clark all running alongside each other, but this is the Lamborghini of the Trax racing car as Clements takes the middle off the track to discourage any kind of late moves, late dives by the Lamborghini, and it's kept the position a little bit risky, but he's managed to keep that position. But now it's not for long because the Lamborghini's down the inside into turn one. But the BMW just sweeps around, and that's now going to open the door for Sween. And remember, Sween's got to watch for Hall behind him as well. But on board the Grello Porsche of the number 17 car, that is Carl Sween. And you can see just how close that Porsche is behind him. They come round turn two now. It really is close between all of these drivers. We're taking out the camera there as they come round the Audi cutting for the fourth time today. Oh no, it's a huge crash! The Lamborghini smashed off the wall, and cat-like reflexes from Carl Sween. Now they're side by side through the mountain. This is not normally an overtaking place. The Ferrari thinks about it down the inside. Doesn't make anything happen now as they come into Skyline, and Clark is in the AM class running P8, looking to be dicing with the pro class drivers. Very strong performance from the Mustang driver just now. But they've all managed to get through relatively safely, and the big winner there of course is Clements, who's now got himself a little bit of breathing room as Rampensberger now on the main straight still tries to keep up with Dan Clegg. He's not got enough pace in it. I think he's going to require some kind of a mistake from the race leader, I think, to catch him up. So I'm going to try to repeat what I said earlier on when the microphone was not working. Coming up in Race Club UK is we have Watkins Glen next week, and then the season finale at Indianapolis the following week. After that though, there's a gap between season 11 and season 12. What is happening? Well, let me tell you what is happening. The Race Club UK GT3 Endurance Team Cup Driver Swap Challenge. You can have teams into this championship. You'll need a friend, you'll need a copy of Assetto Corsa Competizione, and you'll need a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series S or X to take part. Go to www.thesimgrid.com and follow Race Club UK. And you'll find all the details of how to enter, join the Discord, all on that website once you've followed Race Club UK. So that's to start on the 17th of September. It runs for 3 weeks and they go to Zandvoort, Paul Ricard and the electrifying Monza. Good, that promo's not out the way. Managed to get that one happening without too many things going wrong. So let's pick up back on the action because it's definitely leading to something. 25 minutes of high octane action left as these cars push each other round the mountain section of Mount Panorama into the Bentley elbow. They go. Paul is pushing Sween, who's lost out to Kraft. Paul Alex is shown as only right behind Rampensberger, and they're coming to lap a back marker now. So this is where it could begin to all go wrong. On board with the smooth driving style of Alex. Now the back marker gets himself out of the way and lets the two podium contenders through. Good racecraft, good awareness from Lee Watson in the BMW there. That's looking back at Carl Sween from the Trax racing car. Sween goes down the inside into turn 1 and completes the move, leaves him racing room on the outside. A very professional and clean move from the American. So car number 9 showing yellow flags there. Now that's at the final corner. Oh, he nearly reverses out into the Pink Panther of Barros. But Lofstrand's been in the wall on the final corner. Now I wonder if that was self-inflicted or if that was part of another incident. As these guys now fly round the mountain, round the BP Ultimate corner, getting very close to the wall, as they do almost every lap. And that looked like a little wall rub there from Clark in the Mustang. Now that Lamborghini looks to be very unstable over the top of the mountain. It's not the most supple suspension in that car. It sits very low to the ground and it's quite a heavy car. It looks light and nimble, but the Lamborghini is very heavy, especially compared to that Ferrari behind him, which will be incredible on the way into corners. But this is where the Ferrari struggles. We've seen it all season long. The Ferrari struggles with straight line speed. It feels nice to drive, but it's just, it struggles on these sections. As the cars begin to take a Noah's Ark type formation behind Dan Clegg or Noah in this situation. We have Rampensberger and Alex pushing each other on. Clements and Sween kind of running together. Kraft and Paul. 2 by 2 by 2 they go. So looking back at silver class, Jarnigan is leading Metzger, who's leading Roland. A very close battle between these three. We'll keep an eye on this one because we'll see if Metzger can try and get his teammate Herman potentially involved in this situation. Up front then, Paul Alex, this is Alex here driving. Again, it's very smooth Aston Martin. I don't know how he does it actually. He's very, very controlled. Through Skyline we go again, and it's just in his head. He knows what he's doing before it has to be done. A little bit wide there coming out of the elbow. As Watson now begins to get in the way, there's nothing you can do around this section, of course. But Watson in the lapped BMW now, he's playing a little bit of blue flag simulator. He's moved out of the way, he's trying to get out of the way of the cars behind, but they want the toe, they want the slipstream, they want the big BMW shaped hole to be punched through the air to give them that extra little boost. Car 444, that's the Pink Panther of Bathurst, has lost the car coming into Skyline at the top of the mountain section. He's parking up, it looks like maybe just getting the car facing the wrong way. The driver tracker on the bottom right of the screen can show you that. Hall just shows his nose up the inside of Kraft, but doesn't quite make it. At least not this time. This is the lapped. I risk it all. And Herman. So what's happened to Herman? Herman's actually lapped him, that's what's happened. Metzger's really close now to the back of Jarnigan. The BMW, a much easier car to drive, of course. Then we have Metzger behind. It really is a very difficult section of track. There's almost like an invisible groove, an invisible set of rails. And once you get in that sort of that line, you consistently manage to take that line over the mountain. The lap just comes together. You gain so much confidence from running through that same line, that rubbered in line. You just find seconds and seconds of time. It looks like Metzger's found that groove. Now, if you indulge me, I'll try and see the leg. This is top end speed here because we know it's fast. 282. So a couple of kilometers an hour faster than anything else around here is that Lexus. So Hall and Kraft, and now Clark thinks about it down the way into turn one. He comes round the first corner. Clark in the AM class has just made a move on Jack Kraft in the Ted Trax racing car. Ted Trax Racing helping youngsters get involved in motorsports at all levels, whether that be through karting, through the transferable skills learned in sim racing, or just generally increasing awareness of the young drivers looking to find their way into motorsports. They're a good group of guys. They're a non-for-profit organisation. Do check them out on the usual socials, your Facebooks, your Instagrams, all your sort of social medias that you would normally be surfing anyway. Takes 5 minutes to go and check them out. Ted Trax Racing. So race leader Dan Clegg is getting all the luck today. He's approaching the lap runners on the straights, and that's exactly where he'll be looking to catch every single one of them as Michael Adenal moves out of his way. He's not running away with this one like he did the last one, but is he just got himself a nice gap where he's biding his time? He's not having to push the car to its limits. He's just hitting all the apexes, making sure he's not in the wall, maybe taking half a second out of his lap time just to make sure it's consistent. Rampensberger's still in second, but he's got a little gap now to the Aston Martin of Alex, and Clements has reeled him in a little bit, and he's pulled Sween along with him. So the battle for third place now beginning to heat up on this sweltering summer's day here in New South Wales, Australia. Looks like we're ready for round 2 with this lot then, because we've got Metzger, Jernigan and Rowlands, the battle for the silver class lead. Once again. Keep an eye on all of these drivers, but look at this. Clark, in the AM class, has now got himself ahead of Hall in the Ferrari. The AM class driver running amongst the big boys today. And you can see how much he's struggling in the back end, stepping out, really stepping out. Yellow flag showing up ahead. Car number 22's in the wall. They need to be very careful as they come round this section. Jose Petiz has managed to get himself moving. Thankfully for these guys coming round, because that could have been absolutely catastrophic. But Dan Clegg's got himself ahead of car 36. There's no one else in front of him. He has got a clean run now for the final 15 minutes. As Petiz is on the grass trying to get out of the way. He needs to be careful doing that one. And of course we've got more cars coming round now. Hope they all did make it through. It looks like they did. This is the battle for third. We've got Rampensberger actually in second, just out of focus at the front of this shot. We then have Chris Clements, who was in the YouTube chat earlier on, car 14, showing yellow flags round at the chase. That was Rowlands. And that one's interesting because he's got Herman now on his tail. He was battling the guys at the front. What's happened at the front there? Metzger, Jernigan and Rowlands. They've got a Mustang rejoining from the pit lane there, as well as the camera has a hard time trying to keep up with the action. But this is Flores, who's been flying. He's under blue flags. He tries to move out of the way there. Oh, right. I don't have too much to say about that one. I mean, that looked pretty self-explanatory. We'll let the stewards work that one out post-race. But there will not be some happy drivers there, that is for sure. So, big props there to James Clark in the Mustang. And the AM class driver running amongst the big boys up there in P6. He's got Hall breathing down his neck, almost pushing him round the Bentley elbow, and the Trax racing car in the background could not buy an apex if they wanted one. A yellow flag showing for car number 100, and he's now ported back to the pit lane. The car parked there on the inside. That is Cook. That's Chris Cook. Chris Cook is parked up on the inside of the track. That to me looks like a hardware issue. He's maybe got a problem with his sim racing equipment, or maybe he's been distracted by something outside of the game. But he's parked off in a nice safe area off the track. Well, comparatively safe area off the track. Belamanzi has got the fast travelling Barros behind him. Barros a lap down, but definitely one of the quicker drivers in the lead, as he desperately tries to pull out some kind of a gap from Lostron behind in the BMW. We're on board now with Carl Sween. Through Salmon Park they go again. 11 minutes off the race remain. honestly, the confidence to carry that much speed around this section of the track. Sween pushes a little bit too hard there as he comes through Shannon Bessie's. And the Bentley elbow now. Of course we've got good traction, but the BMW's raw drunken power will just see it tie a lasso round the back of Paul Alex. They've got a car spinning. That's car 14. Roland's having issues with the wall, just gets out of the way of Barros as Barros comes. That's not Barros, sorry, my apologies, that's Flores. And that looks like a broken steering column to me. Let's have a look at the steering wheel. Yeah, the steering column is broken on that car. So Rollins will have to now pit, unfortunately for him, with 10 minutes remaining. Lostron's now caught up to the back of Bellamancia. That pink Nissan is so recognisable. Makes my job a lot easier. So as we enter the final 10 minutes of the race, Clegg leads Rampensberger, who leads Alex. I'm going to let them cross the line just now and get that an updated number. There we go, 10-second gap. Paul Alex a further second behind, with Clements the same gap behind. Sween 0.4 behind Clements. Clark running in P6, 8 seconds behind. He's pulling Hall and Kraft along with them. Metzger's 9th, Jarnigan 10th, Herman 11th, Van Linter 12th, Rollins 13th in the pits. Bellamancia and Lostron go through and take Rollins. Demi, Watson, Cedric, Barros and Cook are the top 20. This again is Clark, a little bit of a queue now beginning to form behind him. And this is Clements now under pressure from the Grello Porsche. He's going defensive as they come through the sweeper before the chase. And Clements again just takes the middle off the road. You seen him do that earlier on. A lot of curb being taken by Sween on the second part of that apex. Car 96, that's Herman's in the wall. Herman's had a brush with the wall up around the mountain section. We'll catch up with him in a second because it looks like Sween's about to put the moves down the inside of turn 1. We've seen him do this before. Once again, Clements just takes the inside line. The battle just behind them, so Hall, Kraft, I think it was Herman, Bellamancia and Lofstrand come together, it looks like at the Bentley elbow, and Bellamancia smashes into the track, tries to rejoin. He's got a broken steering column, so those guys around him will need to be very, very careful. Action all over the place in the final 7 minutes of this incredible race as we enter the twilight of the series. The third last race. Next time out we'll head to Watkins Glen, one of my favourite tracks, but we're right here now in New South Wales at Bathurst as they come round Skyline. It's been very hot. Tyre wear has been a topic. Car 96 Herman is now been in the wall. What's happened to Herman? That car has been absolutely obliterated. He's P12. He's going to try and get that round to the finish. But that car is in bad shape. So Sween again only half a second behind the BMW. He'll be closing in that pocket of clean air in the straight, but then as he gets to the corners again he'll struggle a little bit. These guys very similarly paced. Clark still holding on to Hall. Really is an absolutely incredible drive from Clark. He's almost pushed around the final corner by the old Fez. Up at front then, Alex still not able to make ground as we come into the final 5 minutes of this. Let's be honest, incredible race this evening. Car 96, that is Herman. He's causing carnage all over the track. He really is wanting to finish this race as Lofstrand now goes past him. And he's got Barros and Demi looking to make moves as well. He's on the grass, that's not where you want to be. He spins out, he takes the brake markers. That's going to be difficult for the leaders now as they come round. Needs to be careful on his rejoin as Rollins comes through to gain another lap back on the leaders. So the battle for second, third, fourth and fifth still rages on. There's still 2 by 2. But Alex looks to be a lot closer this time. Listen to that Aston's engine. They're watching the front two there, but Sween at the back is almost side by side. As they come through into the chase, Sween have to pull out and duck out of that one. Of course, Clement's entitled to take the line he wants to take. He is the car in the lead at this point. This is the battle for P4. Looks like somebody's went wide just up ahead. Rampensberger maybe pushing the limits on what the car will cope with. It looks like Clark's had an issue. Clark's taken a chunk out of the wall. Steering column looks okay, thankfully. He's now down into P8. He's got some gap to Andrea Demi, who is the next car behind him. That's car 68. That's almost half a lap he's got, so he doesn't need to be battling that one tooth and nail. As they've just got past Bellamancia. And now Clements and Sween have to try and get past them as well through the mountain section. This is not where you want to encounter lapped traffic. Feathers the throttle, doesn't he? The Sween's already there. Look at him. Sween's already on the back. Sween senses. You can feel an opportunity coming up. Bellamancia is desperately just trying to get to the straight so he can move over safely. He does so. But has that given Sween what he needs? Is Sween now close enough with the toe down the back straight? Up ahead, of course, we've got Alex and Rampensberger as well. Yellow flags out for car 85, that's Kraft. It's not been enough for either driver to make the move as Clegg crosses the line for what might be the final lap of the race. The slightest mistake from any of these drivers is now Watson rejoins. The good news is Watson might recognise the drivers coming through now and hopefully let them pass. Because if not, this is about to get very tasty over the next, I don't know how many miles this track is, but over the next couple of corners, because we're now into the mountain section where it's very hard to overtake. And we've got two cars battling hard and a back marker in the wall at the Audi cutting. He's moved out of the way for this slot, but he doesn't know the next guys are coming through. It's Clements. He's got Sween all over his backside, dancing left and right, looking for a tiny Porsche-sized gap to squeeze through and get himself alongside. The dirty air will not be helping. He really is almost drifting that Porsche round every corner now as they come into Skyline. You can see how close the Porsche is. Just giving him a little nudge almost through every single corner, and Watson has managed to get to the start-finish straight. Rampensberger's got a reasonably sized gap back. Clement, I'm not sure, can say the same. He looks like he's under a bit more pressure as they come down the hill. But Dan Clegg's going to cross the line and take the win. And I've lost that camera controls at the worst possible opportunity. Rampensberger's going to come home and take P2, thankfully. We've not missed anything there. Alex comes home, takes third place. Clements is going to hold on from Carl Sween in fifth. My apologies. That is inaccurate, as Clegg has crossed the line with a second to go. Such was the close margins there. So Clegg has made sure we've got one more lap of high octane action. I'm sure everybody thought that was the end of the race. But we continue on. One more lap we go, but it looks like some of those gaps have disappeared. The close racing we had for what we thought was the last lap has just stretched out ever so slightly. It's not been the best of nights for myself from a technical standpoint. My apologies for that. But 0.8 of a second separate Alex and Rampensberger. The fight for the final podium position is going to go down to the wire. They come round the Bentley elbow one more time. The Aston Martin looks to be a little bit too far back. It's going to have the grunt in the straight line, but not enough to close all that gap. Unfortunately, the Aston Martin is going to come home in P3 and pending any massive mistakes. But it's Dan Clegg-Stappen who takes the win, double win tonight for the championship leader, who is surely the favourite now. Rampensberger is going to come home in P2 with Paul Alex in a strong third position. Chris Clements takes fourth with Carl Sween just coming home in P5. Hall's going to come home next, P6. That's third and sixth place for the Piston Breakers team. And what a performance from this man. Clark in the Mustang, the AM class driver, is going to come home and take 7th on the road, beating the entire silver class. Matthias Metzger comes home now for the Flying Eagles team to take the win. Incredible drive again from Jarnigan, driving the Lexus. Not the easiest car to drive. I'm sure Van Linter's BMW doesn't look much easier as he takes 10th. Herman comes across the line now. There he is with Flores, who are both a lap down. Riskett All is going to be next driver across the line in the lovely coloured Lamborghini. Chris Cook, we've seen him parked at the side of the road for a long time, but racing into the final corner, that's Barros just going past the Lamborghini driver of Jack Kraft. We've got Michael Adenal bringing a very worn Honda across the line in front of Lofstrand. Rollins is going to come along just behind, but it's going to be Andrea Demi taking the checkered flag. But the last man again to cross the line on camera, the last man to be seen on the track coming home is Jose Petit in 24th place, beating both Hutchins and Simon. What an incredible race we've had this evening. Definitely one for the drivers to re-watch, action-packed throughout. Thank you very much if you've stayed with us the whole time. Do you want to know what's coming up next on Race Club UK? Don't go anywhere, I will tell you after I've ran down the finishing order. Dan Clegg takes first, Rampensberger second, and Paul Alex round out the podium. Chris Clements in fourth with Carl Sween in the fifth. Very close racing. Hall in sixth, Clark seventh, Metzger eighth, Jarnigan in ninth, and Van Linter 10th. Lofstrand 11th, Demi 12th, Barros 13th, Cedric 14th, Rollins in P15, Watson in 16th, Bellamancia in P17, Flores 18th, Herman 19th, and Cook rounds out the top 20. Kraft 21st after his late hit in the wall. Adenal brings home a Honda NSX. I'm pretty sure he wants to leave in Australia. Riscatol in P23 with Jose Petit's 24th. Hutchins and Simon did not finish. In AM class, Clark took a commanding victory from Demi and Cedric, and Metzger just pipped home in front of Jarnigan and Van Linter. So that's the order. Now coming up next week, Race Club UK takes Ted Trax Tuesdays across the pond. This time it's the Pacific Pond as they go from Australia to Watkins Glen in New York State. One of my favourite circuits on the calendar. It's like riding the roller coaster, turns 2, 3, 4 up the hill and the sweeping curves for the rest of the track as well. Incredible one. Do not miss it. I will be here again giving you the action 8:15 from next week. Driver of the day then has to go to Dan Clegg. He's been absolutely commanding today. Pole position times 2, race win times 2, fastest lap times 2. Dan Clegg-Stappen takes the win and surely puts himself in pole position to take the championship after our final race at the Brickyard Indianapolis Motor Speedway in 2 weeks' time. After that, there will be a short lull before season 12 is announced. The best place to find out when season 12 will be announced is on the Race Club UK's Discord. And the best, easiest way to join the Discord is to follow Race Club UK on www.thesimgrid.com. All the sign up details and details on how to join the Discord are posted there. In between season 11 and season 12, however, if you've not heard already, the Race Club UK GT3 Endurance Team Cup will be taking place. Races at Zandvoort, Paul Ricard and the electrifying Monza circuit starting on the 17th of September. That's a Tuesday evening, Tuesday the 17th of September. From practice opens at 7:30 p.m. The races will be just over 2 hours. Don't go anywhere for that one. A couple of the driver swap challenges will be taking part then. If you do want to join again, all you need to do is follow Race Club UK on thesimgrid.com. That's everything from me this evening. I hope you've enjoyed this stream. If you are one of the many drivers watching this back, or you do just genuinely enjoy the content and enjoy watching esports, do not forget to leave a like and follow. My name is Gogs Brown. You can find me on YouTube, Gaming with Gordo. you are interested, please give me a message on YouTube or Instagram using the same screen name. Until next time, until next week, 8:15 next Tuesday, I'll see you at Watkins Glen. Do not miss it. Until then, good night.